What's up guys, George the Manian here, and in this video I want to share with you how to set smarter, better quality goals that will naturally give you the energy and drive to move towards them so that you can accomplish these goals and accomplish your dreams, make them become a reality. See, from time to time I'll have people that'll say to me, George, I wish I had your level of motivation. If I had your level of ambition, I could accomplish so much more. And to be honest, I don't really think I'm that much more motivated or ambitious than anybody else. I think maybe I've just learned how to set better quality goals and set them in a manner that naturally motivates me and naturally brings out ambition in me. And I think that most people have impotent goals. And so I want to teach you a technology that I learned that'll greatly help you to set these better quality goals so that you have that more natural level of motivation. And this is a technology is what's called SMART goals. It's a formula to follow in setting up goals. And so it's an acronym, SMART, S-M-A-R-T. The S stands for specific. See, most people, when I'm working with them, whether it's someone I'm coaching or somebody that I'm talking to, their goals are just so bland. Like, you know what? My goal is, next year I want to make more money, or, I want to get a job and make more money. I want to lose weight. That's so generic. I mean, hey, here's $1. You made more money. Now get out of here, right? But if you're specific, saying, all right, you know what? Next year I want to increase my income by $20,000. That's specific. Your brain can wrap it around that and start to move in that direction. The M is for measurable or quantifiable. There's got to be a way to where you know when you've accomplished it, to where you can just take a check mark and say, all right, I did it, or slash through it and you know that you've accomplished it. A lot of people have set up goals where they don't even know if they've accomplished it or not. Maybe they've already hit their goals. Maybe they're moving in the right direction. But if you have a quantifiable goal, such as, I want to increase my income by $20,000 over the next 60 days, that is something that you'll know when you've accomplished it. It's quantifiable. Now moving on to the next letter, the A, is it attainable? Is this goal attainable? If I were to say, all right, a goal of mine is to run a marathon. I've never done that before, and that actually is a goal of mine, to run a marathon. Is that attainable? Of course. Tons of people have run a marathon, and there's no reason why I can't run a marathon. Now moving on to the next letter, R, realistic. And this is where, only we can really decide this. If I were to say, you know what, my goal is to be able to run a marathon by Sunday, in 2 days from now, is that realistic? It's not, because of the fact that I haven't been training for a marathon just yet. It's not one of my top goals right now that I'm actively working towards. But if I were to say, my goal is to, run this marathon in 6 months from now, is that realistic? Yes, that's realistic. And see, it's important to have realistic goals because your brain needs to have a level of certainty attached to it, right? If you are not certain that it's realistic and that you really can attain it, then you're not going to have that natural level of drive and ambition and motivation to move towards it. One of my friends a couple of years ago, I remember we were working in a company together, and he was having some success, and and we were planning out our goals for the next year, and he was like, I said, what's your goal for next year? And his goal was, I want to make over $1.5 million next year. And this is someone who's a server at a restaurant, likely never even made over $2,000 or $3,000 in a month, yet is setting a goal to make $1.5 million in the next 12 months. Now, is that attainable? Is that attainable? Yes, it is. But we have to come to ourselves and say, is this really realistic? Maybe to go from $20,000 a year to a $1.5 million income. Of course, anything is possible. But if you set a goal so big that, your brain just doesn't even believe it, then you've lost the battle before you've even begun, because then you won't have the motivation to be able to do it. And so you has to be just within reach to where it stretches you, it pushes you, but it's not so far-fetched out there to where your brain just says, man, who are you even kidding? You know what? And so it has to be realistic. And then the last one, the T, is there's got to be a time frame involved. This is a big mistake a lot of people make, is that they set a goal, but they don't put a date to it. It's critical to have a date, and this is why I like to set up daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and yearly goals, because that way I can say, okay, my goal is to accomplish this by, Saturday night at midnight. That's within my week time frame, or, by the end of the month, by October 31st, or whenever. But when you set a timetable, do it to a time frame, then you know what you're working toward. Rather than just saying, yeah, I want to lose 10 pounds, okay, well, when? Over the lifetime, over the next 30 days, 60 days. So it's important to set a time frame. Now, I hope this helps. I am not a master goal accomplisher. I've accomplished many goals in my life, many incredible goals. And I've accomplished hundreds, probably maybe even thousands of goals at this point, some very small and some very big. And I don't always accomplish all the goals that I set out to do. Typically in any given year, I will typically accomplish about 70 to 75% of the goals that I set for myself. But I like to think that by using these types of formulas and by setting myself up for success, that I've accomplished a lot more goals in my life than I probably would have if I had not set them at all, and I didn't make them specific, I didn't make them measurable, I didn't make them attainable, I didn't make them realistic, and I didn't set a time frame to them. So I like to think that by following this formula, by putting the law of averages in my favor, that it's helped me to accomplish a lot more goals in my life. I hope this helped. If you have any comments or feedback about this, let me know, and feel free to share your goals as well. I'd love to hear what you're working on, and stay tuned. Got more great videos coming your way. Until next time, have a great day, guys. See ya.